All right, I'm coming at you from an undisclosed location right here in California, and I thought that this would be an appropriate video to do since tomorrow in California, all law enforcement officials are required to abide by a new law, and that is when they pull you over for a traffic stop, they are going to be required to tell you why they pulled you over. And there's a lot of people who are like, man, this is a win. This is great. This is the greatest thing since sliced bread. This is really going to change things. But will it really? So we know cops lie, right? They're trained to lie. They have a practice of lying and engaging in deceptive practices so they can bleed you for information. And then whatever information you use because you chose not to use your Fifth Amendment right to be silent, they're going to use that information against you. So if they lie, this law is not going to keep them from lying. And the second thing is, how do we even know they're going to follow this law? They don't follow the First Amendment. They don't follow the Second Amendment. They don't know what the Third Amendment is. They don't follow the Fourth Amendment. And when you decide to invoke your Fifth Amendment right, well, they retaliate against you. So they don't even follow the Bill of Rights and the Constitution that they swore to protect, defend, and uphold. What makes us think that they're going to follow this new law where they're required to tell you why they pulled you over? And even if they do tell you why they pulled you over, that just means they're going to lie to you up front instead of waiting to lie to you after they get done getting your ID. Because right now, like we saw with Frank Sloop on that video that was released by Lackluster, he comes in the vehicle, license, registration, and proof of insurance. And the guy pushes back a little bit and says, well, why'd you pull me over? License, registration, and proof of insurance first. He goes, no, that's not how it works. This is how it works. This is my traffic stop. You're going to do what I tell you to do. I'm going to pull you out of the car. So Frank Sloop is already a liar. Now it just gives him the opportunity or the justification to lie to you up front instead of waiting to you to tell you the lie later. That's the first thing. And really, well, that's the second thing, because the first thing is, how do we even know they're going to abide by a brand new law when they don't even abide by the laws that are in place in the first place? And I'm talking about your actual civil rights. You have the unalienable right to be secure in your person's houses, papers, and effects, but the police believe that they have the right to make you insecure in your person's houses, papers, and effects. So how is this going to change anything? So that's the first thing I wanted to discuss. And I wanted to ask you guys the question, do you think it will change anything requiring the cops to abide by a law that says, hey, we're going to have to tell you exactly why we pulled you over? They can still fabricate the reason for pulling you over. You didn't turn your traffic signal on 50 feet before your turn. You only did it 48 feet before your turn. Or you were speeding down the road. Can I see your radar? No, that's irrelevant. You give me your ID. I already told you why I'm pulling you over. They can lie about anything. You don't have a properly illuminated tag light or whatever. You got a crack in your windshield. They can fabricate anything so they can go on their little fishing expedition, so they can enact civil asset forfeiture against you or just otherwise economically terrorize you. It doesn't matter to them. They don't have scruples. They don't have any morals, and they don't have any qualms about trampling your rights. We already know that. The biggest domestic terror cell on the planet today, besides the IRS and the Federal Reserve, is the American Police Department, because they will use force, violence, and brutality and coercion and threats against you so they can get what they want. And what they want is not your freedom. They want to extract you for the tax cattle they see you as being. The second thing is, I just did a video. It's rendering right now, actually, and it may be up today, but probably more likely tomorrow, the day after, till YouTube releases it. But it's about this guy named Kevin who, he looks like a dip, and it looks like, I understand why people hate this guy. But no matter how a-hole-ish you can be, no matter how belligerent you are, the guy still has rights. And we cannot cloud our knowledge, and we can't cloud our understanding of what's actually going on in the world with regard to American policing because we don't like a guy that the police are now putting in cuffs. I mean, either the guy has rights or he doesn't. And if he doesn't have rights, and we're saying, hey, it's okay for the police to do that to him because I think he's an a-hole, then, hey, get ready for that same thing to happen to us. Some, people at a bar, drunk people at a bar, called the cops on this other drunk person at this bar and made this claim, and the cops, based on hearsay, put this guy in cuffs. I don't want to spoil this for you, but We have to understand that we all have rights, each and every one of us. We all have rights, or none of us has rights. And if we all have rights, then those rights need to be respected. And if those rights are not respected, then the person who transgressed those rights, namely the American law enforcement cartel, have committed a crime. And that's really what a crime is. A crime is a violation of rights. It's a transgression of the will of somebody else who doesn't want their will transgressed or encroached or infringed upon. So I want us all to remember that. If you guys have any objection about what I said, please leave it in the comment section below. Hey, I'm correctable. We should all be correctable. We're all on a journey here, and I'm assuming that we all care about truth and freedom and morality. And, you know, when I say morality, I'm not talking about something you take from a religious textbook. I'm not talking about a morality that you were taught. I'm talking about a morality that is objectively proven. Is it right? Is it ever right to be the initiator of force, violence, brutality, coercion, and fraud on somebody else when you wouldn't want that done to yourself? Is it okay for somebody to believe that they have a higher claim over your life and property than you, to the point where they reach out their hand and they restrict your freedom in any way, whatever their justification for doing so? And is there ever a proper justification for taking an innocent person's rights away? And if the answer is no, it's never right to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who want to be left alone. No, it's never right to believe that you have a higher claim over the life and property of others. And no, it's never right to transgress basically the golden rule, do to others what you'd want done to you. If those are objective truths that we can prove time and time again, 100% of the time, then anybody who goes beyond that line, those are the criminals. And that is the definition of real crime. Somebody who's transgressing the will of another. Somebody who's violating another person who doesn't want to be violated. I don't care if you're a priest. I don't care if you're a politician. I don't care if you're a policeman, a badged wearing, clown suit wearing tyrant. There is never a justification to commit a crime. You can call it civil asset forfeiture if you want, but I call it armed robbery. There is no difference. And there's this illusion that people have this special authority, this special power, this special right that none of the rest of us has. And it is absolute fiction. It's as fictitious as Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy. So I just want to close out this video by saying, hey, I hope you had a wonderful 2023, and I hope you have a better and happier 2024. But even more than that, I hope you have a freer 2024. I hope that you'll be able to keep more of your income, not less. I hope that you'll be able to exercise your freedom of speech, and that you'll be secure in your persons, houses, papers, and effects in this coming year. That's what I wish for you. I wish good health for you. You know, and in the realm of health, this is kind of a sidebar, but in the realm of health, it really is, the majority of it is up to you. Nobody's going to make you shove something into your pie hole. You're either going to shove it in yourself, or somebody's going to force you down and shove it in. But generally speaking, people don't force you down and shove things in your pie hole. Make a conscious effort. Drink plenty of water. Get enough sleep. Exercise consistently. And, you know, eat the things that you should be eating that build up your body instead of tearing them down. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging with me in 2023. I look forward to growing with you in 2024. And remember, the price of freedom is now and will always be eternal vigilance. And indifference to this notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. Let's stop securing our own oppression, and let's start at the closing hours of 2023. I will see you in the next video, and I will see you in the next year.